Hey, everybody. Happy holidays. I hope everyone is doing fantastically and getting ready for winter break. I know when I was a teacher and a librarian in schools, I could not wait for winter break because it meant 2 whole weeks of sleeping late and resting and hanging out with my dogs and seeing some family. I know this year is going to be kind of different, but I hope that you still get to see your family either virtually or safely in person. However, I hope that you get to have some fun. So today I'm going to review one of my newest favorite books. I got this book in the Book of the Month Club, and I reviewed it a little at the end of my last vlog and in Karina and I's show Tech It Over. So this book is really, really great. I got it in my October Book of the Month box because I wanted something a little bit creepy, a little spooky, something gave me some spooky vibes, right? And so I got it, and it took me a little longer than I expected to read it because it is a slow burn. So it goes slowly, and then as the book continues, it picks up. So if you get it, and you will, because it is amazing, and I love it, and I highly, highly recommend it. Just remember that it does take a while to pick up. Honestly, I didn't have any problem with the pacing of it. I thought it was great. But a lot of the reviews I'm seeing do call it a slow burn. So I do want to put that out there for y'all. So this book that I'm going to review today is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And V.E. Schwab also wrote the series, the Something Monsters series, but the first one was This Savage Song, and it was really, really good. I read it a couple years ago, and I can't exactly remember what it was about, but it was about, I remember that the girl had something to do with magic. I mean, not magic, music. And it is called, I remember now, it's the Monsters of Verity series. That was a duology. It was so, so good. But what I remember most is the language and the way that V.E. Schwab writes in the books. It is just so beautiful, and everything just kind of flows. It's almost like reading music because of the way everything just flows beautifully. And the same was for Addie. I love this book, and it is safe to say this is now one of my new favorites because Addie is just so persistent and strong and ruthless, and she doesn't want to be married off at 23. So Addie grows up in the early 1700s in France. And back then, all women did was get ready to be married. Like they learn manners and etiquette, and then they get married off, and then they have kids, and that's their life. And Addie wants more than that. And it reminded me of Belle because it is in France, but it also reminded me of Belle singing, there's more to life than this tiny little town. And that's exactly how Addie feels. And she wants more. Well, by the time she's 23, she is officially too old to be married off, and her parents find her a man, and they're like, you should be just thankful that this man even wants you at this age because you're too old at this point. And she's like, no. And so on the day of her wedding, she prays to who the witch in the town, she's not really a witch, but everyone thinks she's a witch. The witch in town has constantly told her, do not pray to the gods that answer after dark. You can pray to the sun, pray to the land, pray to the earth, pray to the trees, all these things that are natural that come out during the day. Those are gods to pray to. You have to give them sacrifices, but those are who you pray to. Never pray to the gods that come out after dark. Well, on the day of Addie's wedding, she tricks her parents into thinking she's going somewhere like to get a last minute thing and runs off. And as the sun is setting, offers a sacrifice to whoever, she says, whoever will listen. And it ends up being the darkness. And she essentially makes a deal with the devil where she is going to live forever. And she tells him, I just want to live. I don't want to have restrictions. I don't want to be trapped in this town. I don't want to be married. I want to live. I want to live my life, and I want to be free. And so the darkness tells her, cool, but I'm in the business of souls, so you have to sell your soul. And she says, fine, you can have my soul when I'm done with it, when I don't want it anymore. Addie does not think the deal through. And so what happens is Addie does live. She ends up being 323 at present day in the book. And what you find out is that no one remembers her. That's the catch. She can't speak her name. She can't write her name. She can't say her name. She can't tell her who she is to other people. And the thing is, no one remembers her. Like, she could walk into a room and meet you right now. And then as soon as either you turn around or you walk away or something happens where you're no longer making eye contact with her and looking at her, you have no idea who she is. So it's really hard for Addie to make her mark on the world. And obviously, she can't get a job. She can't really travel. She has to learn how to be what she calls a ghost. And she becomes a ghost throughout history. My favorite part of this book is how Addie makes her mark on the world without ever using her name. So her thing and the way she's identified throughout history and throughout the book is she has 7 freckles on her face, and she calls them her constellations or her stars. And so as the book goes on, we see her influence on artists and sculptors and all kinds of musicians throughout history from when she began her second life to towards what's the end of the book, because we know that she's not going to die, right? And as it goes on, you see her in paintings with 7, and you know it's her because she's got the 7 freckles, or she's sculpted, or there's songs about girls with 7 freckles. And it's just, oh, it's so cool to see how she tricked the darkness. She still made her way through the world and made her mark on the world and got to be free. So it's really, really cool. But then one day, Addie goes into a used bookstore. She's currently in New York in 2014. The book takes place present day is 2014. And she goes into this bookstore and steals a book. And to her, it's no big deal. This is something she does regularly, right? But she comes back the next day, and the boy who's working there remembers her. And he even says, "Hey, are you back? You can't return a book you stole and then try and get a new one." She's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he says, "I remember you." And that changes everything for Addie. She finds someone and she feels like this is a trick. Like, there's got to be a catch to this. Well, there is. The catch is that Henry also has a secret like Addie's. Henry is the boy who remembers her, and they have one of the best, most realistic, loveliest love stories I have ever read. Y'all, I can't even express to you how much I loved this book and how beautiful it is and how smart it is, because Addie and Henry, they just they're so good together, and they have real arguments and they have real problems the way that we would think, like, this is too good to be true. You've got to have a fight eventually, right? And they do. But it's just so smart the way they work around Addie's problem. And it's just, I love it so much. And I don't want to give too much away because I want you to read it and I don't want to give you any spoilers, but I do want you to know the back of the book says, "A life no one will remember and a story you will never forget." Because this is kind of a spoiler, but not really. But you find that the person who wrote the book is someone who knows Addie. And it's so cool. I love when books get meta like that, where somebody in the book ends up writing the book. And it's so cool. So it's really, really great. It's seriously one of the best books I've read in a very long time. And I know I say that a lot, but it really is. And I really think it should be the greatest book of 2020. So if there's only one book you read during the holidays, or only one book you're going to read this year, or even in 2021, read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It is kind of long. You can see it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It took me about 2 weeks to get through, but it's so worth it. And I really hope they make it into a movie, but I'm definitely gonna read it again. And I don't have a lot of time for rereading. Before I finish, I do want to show y'all this month. I just got my book of the month in the mail today, this morning, book of the month delivery. And my December book that I can't wait to read. I'm so excited because my husband and I are going to be traveling tomorrow, and I'm so excited to read it. And I'm going to read it on our flight. And that book is Christina Loren's In a Holidays. I read their summer book last summer, The Unhoneymooners, and it was really good, very funny, very smart. Y'all know I love an adult romance, so I love a holiday romance even more. And I love Book of the Month Club. It's seriously one of the greatest things I ever joined. And I'm super excited. This is one of the December 2020 books. I love these jackets. I'm so excited. So look out for this in a next vlog. And I hope y'all have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Bye.